Hello and welcome, buongiorno, benvenuti to theitaliancookingclass.com. This is Giuseppe here today. Hope you're all well. What we're doing is a very simple recipe of some funghi ripieni, some stuffed mushrooms. The whole dish is made up of just simple ingredients. Most of them we have at home. Obviously mushrooms. We're going to actually take the stalks out of the mushrooms themselves and we're going to use them as part of the filling itself also. Some fresh lemon juice from a lemon. We've got some shallots, some salt, some whole nutmeg which we're going to zest or grate a little bit, grated parmesan, white wine, no garlic, some bacon, ricotta, basil and some olive oil. So here I've diced the bacon, sliced the shallots very thinly, and now I'm going to slice and then dice the mushroom stalks because they are going to be part of the filling itself. Now I'm not going to cook these with the bacon and the shallot. I'm going to put these raw in the mixture simply because when I put them in the oven there will be more moisture that comes out of the mushroom stalks in the filling when it's in the mushroom, and that way it'll be more succulent and juicy. So that's an important thing. Also the bacon and the shallots cooked together. After I've combined them with the ricotta, I'll add also the fresh basil to give it a different fragrance and vibrance. Heating the pan up now. I'm going to add the bacon to it as soon as it's hot. I'm not going to add any oil because there'll be enough fat in the actual bacon. So we'll add the bacon. In the meantime I'll toss the mushrooms in a bowl. We'll add 2 tablespoons of olive oil in there and some salt because that is again an important part of every ingredient to bring out the flavours from inside. And so we'll toss them through like that so all the oil and the salt's running through nicely. We'll add the shallots now so it cooks nicely together with the bacon. We'll add the wine to that now so that all those beautiful flavours, see, just deglaze the pan, they just come off the pan. And I've turned the heat off because we want it to stay in there nicely. And I'm going to mix that all in with the ricotta and we'll blend them together. We'll add some lemon juice, the parmigiano and some fresh basil. That'll be just wonderful. Okay, now we're going to put everything together. We've got the ricotta straight in the food processor. Put the bacon in there that we've done with the shallots, the parmigiano, the mushrooms. Bit more olive oil, or a bit of olive oil, bit of salt, get some nutmeg on it, fresh lemon juice, about a tablespoonful of it, and we'll just malt it up. As you can see, that's really mixing it nicely and chopping everything up evenly. That looks just about enough, we'll give that a little taste. Spettacolare. That is so good. You know what I forgot? Some basil. Just the fragrance, I thought that is good, but there is a touch thing that's missing, and that is the basil. Squash it up first, squash it and chop it, and just throw that in there, like that. Far more fragrance. No, couldn't have done it better if I tried. But anyway, it's done now, even if I didn't try, but it's good, it's good. We will stuff these mushrooms. We're getting the stuffing out of there and into there. We'll just push it down a little bit, just to make sure that it's in there everywhere. Now, you want the oven about 200. The reason for that is so that they cook really, really quickly, just like you do when you're in really hot sun. You scorch on the outside and you're still nice and juicy on the inside. So this is what we want to happen with these things, so that when you bite into them, they're still succulent and just full of flavour, and with them being set and slightly firm on the outside, and even going to a crust if you want to leave them in there that long. Folks, don't worry about the exact measurements. Understand the concept of what a recipe is about, what I'm actually doing. I'm actually just mixing ricotta because it's a really good base for fillings and stuffings for mushrooms, and you can add whatever you like to them. Try my recipe. If you don't like it, hey, that sucks. Try your own. Add more of this, add more of that. But this is the simplicity of these beautiful recipes. They're just so wonderful and easy and full of flavour and so nutritional. That's what I love about them. You can see we have all the mushrooms, and we also have some filling left that you can use as a dip or a spread or a sauce for anything you like, a steak, put it with some pasta. You know, just so many different ways you can be creative with food. You know, there are no guidelines or there are no rules. It's all just about how you feel creative at the moment in time. When you do that, it just helps you to unwind, relax and be who you really want to be, because that's what cooking does to me. So I'm going to stick those in the oven and we'll be back shortly. The mushrooms have been in there for 10 minutes, folks, and we're just about to have a look to see what's going on in there, because they're just starting to shed a lot of water and juices that come out of the whole combination of ingredients. You can cook them 15 minutes, you can cook them longer if you like. I like them a little bit firmer. If you cook them longer, they're going to be softer, of course, but as it goes on, if you cook them for too long, they'll sag and fall and flatten and the filling will come out. I'm going to actually top it with just a nice little slither of tomato flesh on top for two reasons: a little bit of colour contrast and a little bit of touch of a creative piece of work. The reason why I've added to it as well is because I thought it was maybe a touch salty for how I would generally do it. So I decided this will break it up. Now this is the type of things that I mean of ad-lib when you're cooking, you know, just go for it, it doesn't really matter. And if it doesn't work out to your liking as flavour, you've learned something that you won't be doing again, so how good is that? Is that not a double positive? Win-win? And don't they look cute? You can even put a little bit of basil on there if you want, but you know what? They'll just do just nicely. They are really nice. The concept is very wonderful, very nice and very simple. So please have a try, like the video on YouTube, share the love folks, get it happening. We thank you so much for watching us on theitaliancookingclass.com. This is Giuseppe, arrivederci e buon appetito.